The infamous great white barely needs an introduction. After skyrocketing to fame in 1975 thanks to Steven Spielberg's hit movie Jaws, these majestic, yet somewhat misunderstood, creatures are one of the most well-known shark species worldwide. Unfairly labeled as man-eaters, great whites, like most sharks, play a key role in the food chain and are vital components of a healthy ocean. Once shrouded in mystery, scientific research has chipped away at the image of great whites as mindless killers and shed some light on the fantastic adaptations that make them one of the best predators on the planet. To learn exactly what these adaptations are, plus a whole lot more, keep reading below to discover our top 10 great white shark facts. Great white sharks are the largest predatory fish on Earth. Great white sharks are the fourth largest shark on Earth, after megamouth sharks, basking sharks and whale sharks, and are the largest predatory fish. On average, great whites reach around 14.7 feet long, however, the largest one ever recorded was over 20 feet long. Affectionately nicknamed Deep Blue, this female shark was estimated to be roughly 50 years old and weighed around 2.5 tons. Most sharks are cold-blooded, meaning their body temperature is regulated by their environment or how active they are. Great white sharks, on the other hand, are warm-blooded. Warm-blooded creatures, like humans, can maintain their internal body temperature. What's more, great white sharks can adjust their body temperature according to their surroundings. This is beneficial as it enables great whites to move quickly in colder water so they aren't confined to tropical seas. It also means that great white sharks swim faster than other sharks, reaching speeds of up to 35 miles per hour in short bursts. Great white sharks have an amazing sense of smell. It will probably come as no surprise that great whites have an incredible sense of smell. They are well known for their ability to sense small amounts of blood in water, but to put this into a measurable quantity, they can detect 1 drop of blood in 100 liters of water. One of our most obscure great white shark facts is that they have highly toxic blood. Research shows that their blood contains extremely high levels of mercury and arsenic, which other animals simply wouldn't be able to tolerate. Despite this, great whites don't show any symptoms of heavy metal blood poisoning. The reason they have such high concentrations of heavy metals in their blood is due to a process called bioaccumulation. As top predators, sharks accumulate heavy metals in their tissues from all the prey they consume. As soon as great white sharks are born, they're already prepared to fend for themselves. While great whites start off as eggs, they hatch inside the womb. In the womb, the shark embryos eat unfertilized eggs to help them grow as well as their smaller and weaker siblings. The result is that only the strongest shark pups make it out of the womb. When they are born, great white sharks are already between 4 and 5 feet long and equipped to leave their mother and start hunting smaller creatures. Despite being apex predators at the top of the food chain, great white sharks still have predators. Orcas, or killer whales, are fearless shark hunters and are probably the only creatures that great whites are scared of. Studies show that great whites will actually flee their usual hunting grounds and stay away for as long as a year when killer whales enter the area. Great white sharks are globally distributed with concentrations near South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, the North Atlantic, and northeastern Pacific. However, the great white sharks off the U.S. West Coast are an isolated population that reside off California and also include individuals off Guadalupe Island, located 150 miles off the west coast of Baja California, Mexico. While this unique population of great whites spends about half of the year around these sites, they make impressive migrations far offshore near the Pacific Gyre, fondly called the White Shark Cafe, as researchers think they make the trek there to feed or breed. To a lesser extent, these great whites also migrate to the Hawaiian archipelago, though scientists are only beginning to understand the motives behind these long migrations. Curious where West Coast great white sharks are now? Many great white sharks have been marked with satellite tags so researchers can continually monitor their movements. Follow the tracks of these great whites at tagging of Pacific predators or download the SharkNet app to your iPhone. Great white sharks, Carcharodon carcharias, are primarily found in temperate coastal waters, although are known to roam far and wide across our seas and oceans. While known to inhabit many regions in the world, there are three main areas for exceptional encounters with great white sharks: Isla Guadalupe, off Mexico's Pacific coast, Australia's Neptune Islands, and Gans Bay in South Africa. Isla Guadalupe in Mexico is praised around the world for the high visibility offered to divers wanting to get up close to the formidable great white sharks. Divers are usually presented with 30 meters visibility, providing perfect photographic moments with the kings of the ocean. The endemic Guadalupe fur seals that breed only on the one island are an additional bonus for those who visit this beautiful location. The Neptune Islands in southern Australia have gained a reputation for some of the most memorable great white encounters in recent years due to the beautiful waters and inquisitive nature of the sharks. Divers can experience a plethora of marine life in the locations around the great white sharks, which only adds to the excitement of cage diving. Those who decide to be in an ocean floor cage can often have the added bonus of encounters with rays and large groupers. South Africa is famous for its great white shark population. They can be seen hunting young Cape fur seals around Seal Island in False Bay, where they have famously been seen breaching, and further along the coast around Dyer Island, where cage diving trips operate. Departing regularly from Gans Bay, boat trips head out to Shark Alley, the shallow channel between Dyer Island and Giza Rock, Cape Fur Seal Colony, in hope of great white shark encounters. Once a thriving hotspot, sightings of great white sharks have become more infrequent and less predictable in recent times. However, other shark species, such as bronze whalers, are regularly seen. Due to their immense power and status as the apex predator of our seas and oceans, the only safe way to be in the water with great white sharks is by cage diving. While encounters are thrilling and set the pulse racing of even the most hardened divers, diving with great whites is a pursuit which can be enjoyed by all levels of diver and even those with no prior diving experience. As you can see, if you try to hang a 200-kilogram shark, the iron pipe will bend. I have learned a lot thanks to everyone at Hayes Eye Detective Team. Normally you don't hang it up, it weighs 200 kilograms. Afterwards, the Hayes Eye Detective Team succeeded in hanging the iron pipe by reinforcing it. By the way, the size of this northern spotted shark is 2 meters 20 centimeters. Actually, I also want to make the Hayes Eye specialty a buradabon, fried in a drum. But when it's this big it won't fit in the drum. So, the Heisei detective team wanted to solve it but didn't know how. That's when Ryoma, a shark skin craftsman with experience dismantling more than 100 sharks, appeared as a powerful helper. Yuta also works in the kitchen of an izakaya that serves shark dishes. Yuta often serves dishes using sharks dissected by Ryoma at his restaurant. First, cut all the fins and the cross-section looks like this. This will become the shark's fin. Heisei detective team begins demolition work. First, cut all the fins. Just removing everything from the dorsal fin to the pectoral and pelvic fins is painful. Next, remove the internal organs and examine the stomach. Next, take out the internal organs. I refrained from video recording because it was a bit harsh. Take out the stomach and examine the shark's diet. It is the nature of the fisherman to check the bait. The first thing I was able to remove was the still undigested squid and shell. Next is a larger fish, the amberjack. The head and body are separated, possibly due to separation during a shark attack. Scary shark. When you cut off its ridiculous head and examine its mouth, you'll see a row of terrifyingly sharp teeth. Rows of sharp teeth, even just one of which can be a deadly weapon, are a symbol of fear. In fact, sharks are cartilaginous fish whose entire body is made of elastic cartilage. Stingrays and rays are examples of cartilaginous fish. Because there is no abdominal bone, removing the spine is easy considering its size. Ryoma slid the edge of the knife along the spine while adjusting the angle of the knife to remove as much meat as possible. Removing the backbone may be easy, but experience like Ryoma's will come in handy in dissecting it while still leaving plenty of meat behind. This is all you can get from a 200 kg shark. Part at the base of the dorsal fin. The part at the base of the shark's dorsal fin is called the harp by the Yaminchu people. When fried, it is very delicious. After listening, the Heisei detective team had no choice but to eat. Decided to use fried chicken. A large portion of shark fat. It is a part that can only be enjoyed because it has just been caught. This is the large fat part of the shark. Because this part smells, I wash it with sea stone. The odor gets worse over time, so you can only eat portions of freshly caught fish. Yuta, who cooks shark at izakaya, often serves it to customers as grilled shark with sea urchin sauce. Recently I tried shark soup dumplings. Apparently it has no smell and is delicious. This time we will make grilled shark with sea urchin sauce and fried shark with perilla leaves. When I asked Yuta about the best part of the shark, he replied, "If it's fresh, it's the belly." The area around the belly is fatty and delicious, but the odor spreads quickly so it is not suitable to eat unless it is fresh. Shark meat served at restaurants is often aged for a long time, so they often use shark meat from areas other than the belly area. Once prepared, fry the shark in a container full of oil. Unlike frying at home, shark meat is placed on a grill and supported by wire. This is no ordinary dish. When it is fried until golden brown, shark meat is used. The leftover oil sizzles and makes you feel hungry. Mr. 336 picked up the peeled leaves and gave a thumbs up. Good news for those who just want to fry a shark's head. Heisei detective team will fry shark heads from now on, please take a look. As you can see, the shark's head sticks out beautifully. It was too big for one person to carry, so it took 3 people to lift it out of the oil. The shark dish is ready. Unpacking the food is tiring work, but the food is carefully prepared under the supervision of the restaurant chef and looks delicious. Although hard, it has a lively texture and is worth eating. The flavors of the thick white fish and sea urchin sauce make the dish very delicious. Next is fried shark wrapped in perilla leaves. When cut into pieces, it will make a crunchy sound. Sea urchin sauce seems softer and easier to eat than grilled urchin sauce. If you eat French fries with sea urchin sauce, this is also a masterpiece. The most problematic dish in this video is the fried shark head. The flavor is very delicate, especially around the top of the head. Adding sea urchin sauce ahead of time creates a premium dish. In addition, the shark meat that sways around the mouth also has collagen, is very delicious and does not have a bad smell. It can be delicious with miso. challenge a giant tuna in a standing fight. The location was off the coast of Greymouth, South Island, New Zealand, and the resistance was 25 kilometers. Before leaving, I received a phone call from someone who was supposed to be a tuna fishing expert, but he told me, standing with a pull of 22 kilograms is completely impossible for humans. And I can't use P-wire because it will break. I tried to overcome that by standing at 25 kilometers. I mainly used the PE10 series. As a result, without anyone to replace us, we caught 10 fish, 3 kept, 7 released, weighing over 200 kilograms, maximum 300 kilograms. I caught 10 heavy fish in all over 200 kilograms from start to finish. This is probably the first Japanese person to achieve this achievement. There have been reports of people using chairs to fight. The most important thing is to try. 2 summers ago, a friend from New Zealand came to the store with his wife. That's when I heard about the giant bluefin tuna. I was so happy that I was shaking. And I immediately made a plan. The first challenge took place a year later, in the summer of 2022. After much trial and error, I was informed by the local team that the equipment I had brought could not be used. He then challenged the ship's normal tackle and had 8 hits, 6 line breaks, 1 leader break and 1 catch, 182 kilograms. Another person brought a Kenmatsu reel from Japan and caught a southern tuna weighing 142 kilograms. 6 people from the first half and 6 people from the second half took on the challenge, but due to bad weather, the first 5 people no longer had a fighting chance and had to return home. In the second half, everyone fought, but as mentioned above, 7 out of 8 shots were missed. I will try again next year. Many people vowed revenge. The second day of testing has arrived. I am confident in my handling and system, however, we encountered bad weather. I left Japan on the 2nd and couldn't depart on the 3rd, 4th and 5th. On the morning of the 6th, we finally set sail. The fierce battle with the giant tuna lasted for 4 days. The first battle lasted 1 hour and 55 minutes. AG's 200 kilometers fight lasted only 10 minutes. The combat time will be short if the hook is swallowed. Next, I covered 250 kilometers in 18 minutes. His first run was 400 meters. Solve it all at once. Furthermore, the weather was very bad, and even if they managed to leave the port, they immediately turned back. The bottle opener becomes the top polisher in a small chance. A fierce battle begins with outside temperatures below freezing. I tried my best without giving up until the very end, but unfortunately, I lost my leadership position. It was a fierce battle that lasted 3 hours and 40 minutes. With a pulling force of 25 kilograms, after 3 hours it will travel 250 meters, so it may be over 400 kilograms. Expectations. Fighting time is 44 minutes. Only this time, at the captain's request, did I use the ship's lever. With our workaround, it will increase in a shorter period of time. The nylon cord stretches, so pumping slowly. It is quick to use the P-line once it has been introduced into the line. It may have been a good result, but this year there were also 3 people who returned home unable to fight. It was not an easy journey to encounter the strongest fish and participate in the final fight. For those who take it up as a hobby or pastime, it's a completely different. A close look at the showdown between fishermen who bet their lives on tuna. In Oma, the mecca of tuna, veteran fisherman Yamazaki, who is known as the Iron Man, is challenged by his opponents, the 3 Kikuchi brothers, who take turns using modern boats to tuna fishing. Who will catch the giant tuna in the stormy Tsugaru Strait? What about the fight between fishermen and a giant tuna weighing more than 300 kilograms? We will also recommend other famous restaurants that serve delicious and cheap tuna dishes. Yamazaki is known as the Iron Man of Oma. At a time when other fishermen couldn't go fishing, no matter how rough the sea was, he still went out alone and caught a big fish. A powerful enemy appears towards Yamazaki. New wave fisherman Kikuchi, 54 years old. The ship was built and designed by himself. We paid special attention to the materials used to make the ship, helping it to withstand storms and waves. What's even more amazing about him is that he developed his own reel-to-reel in tuna and had a contractor build it. Kikuchi's idea made it possible to fish for tuna without stress, and he received a patent for the idea. Kikuchi boasts, "With this boat, you will never get lost even on a stormy day." In November, stormy weather continued in Oma. Meanwhile, Yamazaki and Kikuchi, who like stormy weather, set sail. How will the confrontation in the stormy sea end? Question mark. A new confrontation breaks out in Oma. Tuna quality competition. Number 1. The boat of fisherman Kumagai, commonly known as Yoshi-san, is only half the size of Buichi Kikuchi's boat. However, there is number 1 fisherman. Hook a big fish with unparalleled momentum. Yoshi set an amazing record this fall. In November, Yoshi caught a giant tuna weighing 344 kilograms. This tuna was brought to Sapporo and auctioned for 4.07 million yen, the highest price since the Sapporo City Central Wholesale Market opened. The reason for the high price is due to the fishing method. No matter how aggressive the tuna is, take your time and catch it without stress. Mr. Yoshi has a technique he has developed to not force the fish up, and he has enough patience to endure long battles with the ferocious tuna. We will film the entire fierce battle between him and the tuna monster. On the other hand, Kikuchi is also famous for its onboard handling and high quality. Specially made smooth ice called "snow ice" is used to cool the tuna. Due to the large surface area in contact with the tuna can be cooled evenly. Then, while Oma's tuna was lifted head first by a crane, Kikuchi's tuna was placed belly up and landed. By placing the tuna on its side, the quality of the tuna meat will become uniform. What Kikuchi especially cares about when transporting is local production for local consumption. The company aims to ship high-quality tuna to its hometown of Aomori instead of Tokyo or Sapporo and provide delicious tuna to local people. So, he created a new sales channel himself. There is no other fisherman like him. Yoshi-san fights Kikuchi. Which tuna is delicious? Question mark. Iki, Nagasaki Prefecture is where young tuna fishermen, with an average age of about 30, compete with each other. These are two genius fishermen, Mitsuo and Nabata. In fact, these two are not only tuna fishermen but even have the same birthday, making them best friends and fated rivals. Although both are talented fishermen and are highly respected by surrounding fishermen, Abata has not been in good health recently. Meanwhile, Mitsuo's fishing results are very good. So Abata makes a decision and buys a new ship for a complete change. Which fisherman from the South Seas will be responsible for Iki's future? Question mark. Shimoyama is the captain of the toy longline fishing fleet, which is closely linked together. Currently, he and his 29-year-old son are both passionate about giant tuna fishing. Meanwhile, Tomazawa's 18-year-old son, also a fisherman in Toy Port, made his tuna fishing debut this year. Unexpectedly, a father-son boat dispute broke out between the young fishermen who wanted to surpass their father. "I want to win against Oma and my father." A school of monster tuna appeared right in front of the two fishermen. Will the sons catch a giant tuna and be recognized by their father?
So yeah, so